I hope you are safe at home. I am happy to reach you all through this SGC online classes. I am Mr. Guru Rajan, dealing with biology. You may be recalling in second year, PUC second year biology, there are totally 5 units and 16 chapters are there. There are 5 units and 16 chapters. ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ? Out of these 5 units, the first unit was taken by Gogi sir, and I am starting with the second unit. In the first unit there are 4 chapters. In the second unit I am going to start with chapter number 5. In the chapter number 5, we are going to deal with principles of inheritance and variations. The name of the lesson is principles of inheritance, and variations. This lesson is very important because in your board exam you can expect questions for about 10 marks from this lesson, and even in a NEET exam also minimum 5 questions are asked from this chapter. So it is an important lesson which we are going to start from today's class. Remember, before starting about this principles of inheritance, let us recall some of the points which you have already learnt. Students, you may be knowing that reproduction is the basic principle which is responsible for producing same type of individuals. Reproduction is the biological process by which similar type of individuals are produced by the living organisms. So every living organism has the capacity to produce its own offspring. Every living organism has the capacity to produce its own offspring. That offspring is otherwise called as progeny. Remember this word. So progeny and offspring, these two are synonyms. Remember, when reproduction is taking place, the parents are able to pass their characters to their offspring. So during reproduction, characters are transmitted from the parents to the offspring, or to the children or progeny, we can say here. This process of transmission of characters from the parents to the offspring is called as inheritance. Remember. So it is the first one mark question you are going to learn from this lesson. The process of transmission of characters from the parents to the offspring is called as inheritance. This inheritance is also known as heredity. The process of heredity we can say here. One interesting point here is, even though offsprings are produced from the parents, they do not resemble the parents for 100%. You see, even though characters are passed from parents to the children need not resemble the parent 100% actually. So there is a slight degree of variation, slight degree of difference between the parents and the children. This degree of difference is known as variation. Remember. So what is variation means? It is the degree of difference between parents and their progeny. Now, the progeny do not differ from the parents alone. Even they differ among themselves also. For example, your brother may be different from yourself, even though both of you are born to the same parents. So progenies do differ from each other, as well as they differ from their parents also. Even though 90% or more than that we resemble our parents, in few characters we differ from our parents. That degree of difference is called as variation, we can say here. Remember, this variation becomes the raw material for evolution, and that is the main nature in the environment and evolution also. So, in this lesson, we are going to study about inheritance and variation. Our ancestors have understood this phenomenon of inheritance. They have understood the importance of reproduction, and for the past 8,000 to 10,000 years, we have been exploiting this process in various fields of our life. For example, in agriculture and in dairy farming, horticulture, poultry farming, and in all other fields, we exploit the process of reproduction. Our ancestors were able to create new varieties of plants, animals, and useful plants and animals with desirable characters by this method. Even though we are all familiar with the process of reproduction, the scientific basis of reproduction and the scientific patterns of inheritance were not known till the middle of 18th century. Remember this point. At the middle of 19th century, one scientist named Gregor Johann Mendel, he started to do some experiments with reference to reproduction. Gregor Johann Mendel has done some experiments, and based on that he proposed some laws of inheritance. About those laws of inheritance only we are going to study in this lesson. This is the introduction related to principles of inheritance. So, students, so far I told you about what is a progeny, what is inheritance, and what is called variation. Progeny refers to the children born to the parents or the offspring, it can be called. The process of transmission of characters from the parents to the children is called heredity or inheritance, it can be called. And the degree of difference between the parents and the offspring and their offspring can be called as variation. Variation not only occurs between parents and children, even it can occur between the children of same parent also. So that is called variation. And here we must know one more point here. What is called genetics, I want to tell you here. The word genetics refers to a branch of biology which deals with inheritance and variation. So it is the branch of biology, a new branch of biology which deals with inheritance and variation. And from the middle of 19th century only, we came to understand about genetics. And G.J. Mendel performed some experiments with reference to genetics, and he is the pioneer in the field of genetics. Because of that, G.J. Mendel is otherwise called as father of genetics also. So, let us see what are the points you are going to listen in this lesson, and what is the outcome of this lecture, what is the outcome of this lesson learning, we will see here. In this lesson, principles of inheritance, first thing, let us see some introduction related to Mendelism or Mendelian work. We are going to see some introduction. Then, there will be some brief history about Mendel, G.J. Mendel, about his history and birth and experiments we are going to deal here. Mendelism or Mendelian experiments I am going to tell you in this lesson. Third point is about one gene inheritance. If you consider only one gene and how does it get inherited from generation to generation, that is called one gene inheritance, we are going to see here. Apart from that, there will be some point related to two gene inheritance also. So regarding two gene inheritance, we are going to see some laws, rules and regulation, patterns, everything. In addition to that, in this lesson, we will be dealing about sex determination also. Sex determination. How male and female sexes are determined in different animals, we are going to see here. That is called sex determination. There is another phenomenon you are going to learn in this lesson. that is called mutation. Mutation brings about variation. So the process of mutation, different types of mutation we are going to study in this lesson. In addition to that, there is a seventh subtopic in this lesson, that is called genetic disorders also. So about the genetic disorders, if any change happens in the chromosome or gene, what will happen to that individual? That is called genetic disorder. So around 7 points we are going to discuss in this chapter, chapter number 5 here. Introduction, just I gave you some introduction here regarding reproduction, what is inheritance, what is variation, and what is called genetics. Then we are going to study about Mendelian experiments also. Then one gene inheritance, two gene inheritance, sex determination, mutation, and genetic disorders. In addition to all these things, there will be some more points related to polygenic inheritance, and then multiple allelism, and some terminologies related to this genetics. Apart from that, relation between chromosomes and genetics we are going to see here. Chromosomes and gene comparison also we are going to see in this lesson. Apart from that, we will be studying about linkage and recombination also. Various type of syndromes related to genetic disorders are the main point in this lesson. So this is regarding the basic information related to chapter number 5. It is worth of 10 marks in the board examination, and minimum 5 questions can be expected in the NEET exam also. So far I told you what is an inheritance and what is variation. The process of transmission of characters from the parents to the offspring is called inheritance. What is variation means the degree of difference between the parents and their progeny, or between the progenies of the same parent, will be called as variation. You may remember who is the father of genetics means G.J. Mendel, Gregor Johann Mendel, you have to remember. So let us continue about the history of G.J. Mendel as the second point, and what are the experiments performed by G.J. Mendel we are going to discuss here. Okay, let me continue this one. Please. As far as Gregor Johann Mendel is concerned, we must remember that he is considered as father of genetics. Yeah, 2 more question or 1 more question may be asked based on G.J. Mendel's history, but more than his history, we must know about his experiments and its importance. This G.J. Mendel was born in a place called Moravia. Moravia, in a country called Austria, you have to remember. In the year 1822, Mendel was born in Moravia, in the place called Moravia. G.J. Mendel, he completed his high school studies by studying about mathematics, natural science and everything. Then he got graduated in Vienna University also. Later, he joined in a Christian monastery as a priest. So in a Christian monastery, G.J. Mendel joined as a priest. In that monastery, apart from his church services, he conducted some classes in science also. Moreover, he was the son of a farmer, so he developed interest in gardening also. He developed some garden in the monastery, in that place called Brunn actually. In Brunn, he developed some garden. In that garden, he came across different type of plants actually. When he was observing those plants, Mendel got some special interest in a plant called Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum is an important plant which is commonly called as pea plants, you have to remember. In first year you have studied about Fabaceae. In that class Fabaceae, family Fabaceae, you are coming across Pisum sativum. This Pisum sativum had shown some interest by the Mendel, and Mendel did some experiments based on this Pisum sativum. Why he selected Pisum sativum? What is the advantage of selecting Pisum sativum? That we have to see here, which can be asked in a 2-mark question. In your NCERT book, this is the first question which you are going to find there. That is advantage of using Pisum sativum. We are going to see here. Advantage of pea plant or advantage of using Pisum sativum. Remember, this plant, it is an annual plant. It can live for 1 year. Within 1 year, it completes its both vegetative and reproductive phases. Because of that, very easily, quickly you can get your results of experiments or hybridization experiments because in this annual plant. Second point is, this Pisum sativum is a bisexual plant. We have to remember this point. The word bisexual refers to the plant which is having both androecium and gynoecium. You might have heard these words androecium and gynoecium in the first year also. Androecium is the male reproductive part of a flower and gynoecium is the female reproductive part of a flower. When a flower has got both androecium and gynoecium, it is called as a bisexual flower. If it has got only one of these words, then it will be called as a unisexual flower. But Pisum sativum has got a bisexual flower, it produces bisexual flowers. What is the advantage of using bisexual flower for genetical experiment means? With the help of bisexual flower, you can perform either self-pollination or cross-pollination also. So either self-pollination could be done or cross-pollination could be done depending upon our requirement with the help of bisexual flowers. If at all unisexual flower is there means only cross-pollination is possible. In a bisexual flower, either the pollen grains of the same androecium could be used on the gynoecium, or you can remove the androecium and you can bring pollen grains from different androecium and put it in the gynoecium. So when you remove the androecium, that process is called as emasculation. Remember this point. Removal of anthers so that the pollen grain will not fall on the same stigma or fall on the stigma of the same flower. That removal of anther is called emasculation. When a bisexual flower is performed with emasculation, it will automatically become a female flower only. You are removing the androecium so that only gynoecium will be functional and it will become a female flower. So, in a bisexual flower, what is the advantage means either self-pollination can be performed or cross-pollination can be performed depending upon the requirement. That is one advantage of Pisum sativum. One more interesting point here is Mendel observed contrasting characters in the Pisum sativum. He observed very different contrasting characters in the Pisum sativum. What is meant by contrasting characters means opposite characters or the characters of opposite nature, they are called as contrasting characters. Such opposite conditions are called as traits also we can say. For example, if you come across height of the pea plant, you can observe in the garden this height can be, some of the pea plants can be either tall and others can be dwarf like that. Tall pea plants means they may grow up to some 5 feet in the length, and dwarf pea plant will be growing 2 feet in the length means dwarf pea plant will grow only about 0.5 feet like that. That means there are only 2 varieties. No intermediate varieties or medium varieties are possible in this condition. That is called contrasting characters. That is the advantage of using Pisum sativum. They do not exhibit so many traits with reference to one character. They exhibited only two contrasting characters for every character. For example, remember one point, height is the character. Tall and dwarf are the traits. Tall and dwarf are the opposite traits for the character called height. Similarly, you can consider about flower color, flower position, and what is that? Seed shape, seed color, pod shape. Like that, various characters we can consider. Each character is exhibiting opposite traits. That presence of opposite traits or contrasting characters helped Mendel to perform some basic experiments with reference to genetics here, and those experiments are called hybridization experiments, we can say. And these are the advantages of using Pisum sativum. What are the advantages of using Pisum sativum? It can be asked in 3 marks here, and it is an annual plant so that easily or quick results are possible. We need not wait for years together to get the study of progeny. So, quick results are possible when there are annual plants. It is a bisexual plant. When it is bisexual plant, it has got both androecium and gynoecium. When a bisexual flower is used for hybridization experiment, either self-pollination or cross-pollination can be performed by the scientist. Now remember, cross-pollination is possible by a phenomenon called emasculation. What is emasculation? One more question is there. It refers to removal of anther from the bisexual flower. When the anther is removed, only gynoecium will become functional and the flower will become a female flower, remember. And then third point is, pea plant has got contrasting characters. It has exhibited contrasting characters. Contrasting characters means opposite traits. For every character, there were a pair of differences. That is what variation we have studied. If one plant is 2 feet tall means another plant may be 0.5 feet only. So that difference, that contrasting sequence is called as what is that traits it can be called. Even in addition to that, in pea plant, it is possible to get pure line varieties also for this experiment. Pure line varieties. This you have to remember an important one more question. What are called pure line varieties? The pure line varieties are otherwise known as true breeding varieties, we can say. Pure line varieties are nothing but true breeding individuals. What is meant by true breeding individual or pure line variety means, if any plant or animal can pass that particular character for several generations without any change, that will be called as what is that? True breeding. Any plant or animal which can inherit the same character for several generations, that is called as what is that? Pure breeding variety. For several generations, it will breed truly for that particular character. If you take a true breeding tall variety means, even if you pass them for 8 or 10 generations, it will give tall offsprings only. It will never show another what is that? Dwarf. Similarly, a pure breeding dwarf variety means it will give only dwarf varieties for several generations. Even for generations together, they will give you the same character only. Such an individual, whether it is an animal or plant, which can breed truly for a particular character, will be called as true breeding individual or otherwise pure breeding individuals. Mendel got some idea about this pure breeding varieties. That is, by continuous self-pollination, any variety can be made into a pure line variety. So how can you get pure line variety? That is the question here. It can be possible by continuous self-pollination. If you do not allow cross-pollination, if you do not allow other kind of pollen grains to contaminate, then it will breed truly for that particular character only. Suppose if you take a tall plant and if you want to get a true breeding tall plant, means we should not allow any pollen grain from the dwarf plant. So dark pollen grains or the pollen grains of dwarf plant should not be mixed, should not be allowed to pollinate the tall plant. Only self-pollination will be carried out because of its bisexual nature, and we will be getting the true breeding tall variety. So Mendel found that continuous self-pollination is the reason for getting or it is the way of getting the pure breeding varieties. So what are the advantages of Pisum sativum? Using the Pisum sativum, that is the important question. There are 4 advantages. One is it is an annual plant, so that quick results are possible to be observed. Second one is bisexual. It is a bisexual plant which can produce flower with both androecium and gynoecium. Because of bisexuality, either self-pollination or cross-pollination is possible. If we want to perform cross-pollination, emasculation is the method whereby which anther can be removed from the plant, from the flower. Third point I told you is pea plants are exhibiting the contrasting characters. So that contrasting characters means they will show exactly opposite traits. Tall and dwarf are the 2 opposite traits of the character called height. So remember the difference between character and trait. Character is height. Traits are the 2 different forms of the height. Tallness, whether it is 2 feet or 0.5 feet, it is height only. But if it is 2 feet, we call it as tallness, and if it is 0.5 feet, we call it as dwarfness. So both tall and dwarf are different forms of the character, we can say here. Similarly, for example, if you take a blood group in the human population, forget about Pisum sativum, just compare this with the human blood group. We have blood group, that is the character. That blood group can exist in different traits. For example, some people are belonging to A group, some are belonging to B group, some belong to AB group, others to O group. So these are the 4 different traits which belong to the same character. Character is blood group, but these are the various types or various traits belonging to the character. This basic point we have to remember. Difference between character and traits is very, very important when we study about 1 gene inheritance and 2 gene inheritance, all these points. So far I gave you some introduction about Gregor Johann Mendel. Mendel performed many types of hybridization experiments in the pea plant. Starting from 1856 up to 1863, Mendel performed these experiments in the pea plant. In 1868, like that, after 5 years, he published his results. He did various work with hybridization experiments with Pisum sativum. Then he published his results in 1868 through a paper or through a research paper called Experiments in Hybridization. The publishing work of Mendel is known as Experiments in Hybridization. With this experiments in hybridization, he proposed several laws of inheritance. He proposed different patterns of inheritance in genetics. But unfortunately, around some 30 years like that, Mendel's work was not recognized in the scientific world. In 1868, he published the results, but his laws and his work were not recognized by scientific world due to various reasons, we can say. But only in 1900, especially after the death of Mendel. Mendel died in 1888, and after 22 years, his works were rediscovered by different people. Then his works were made popular. So here, when Mendel was alive, his experiments were not appreciated or not accepted directly, or it was not, they were not become popular at that time. Later, after his death, around 22 years later, his theories were reproposed by various scientists. We will study about that, rediscovery of Mendelism and everything in the later point. Now, in 1900 only, Mendelian principles were accepted and they became popular. What is the reason for not accepting Mendelism? Why Mendel's works were not accepted when he was alive, or what was the reasons behind this? We will discuss here. Now, so far, I gave you some subtopics related to this lesson. Then I gave you some introduction about Gregor Johann Mendel. He is considered as father of genetics. He was born in Moravia, a place, and the country is called Austria. In 1822, he was born. Around July 28, this is the birth date of Mendel. More than 200 years ago, Mendel was born. He worked in a monastery as a priest in the place called Brunn. In Brunn itself, he showed some interest in teaching as well as gardening also. During his gardening and other hobbies, he came across a fascinating plant called Pisum sativum. Pisum sativum is commonly called as a pea plant. In this pea plant, he came across some advantages. It is an annual plant, it is a bisexual plant, it is exhibiting contrasting characters, and it can be made into a pure line variety also. Pure line varieties are the plant or animal which can pass the same character for several generations due to continuous self-pollination. There should not be any contamination by cross-pollination. When there is continuous self-pollination, it will automatically produce, it will give rise to same character only. Such a plant or animal will be called as pure line variety. Mendel developed pure line variety. He came across these things. Even I told you one more point, what is called emasculation. Even we have studied the difference between character and trait also. Character is a common thing. The various forms of a character can be called as what is that? Traits actually. Okay, let us continue after a few minutes. Just make note of these points. Have a habit of writing it in your notebook and try to. It will be useful for your revision also. Just make note of it. Okay, students, I just now told you Mendel performed hybridization experiments in pea plants. Mendel came across around 7 characters. Each character was exhibiting 2 opposite traits. So, 14 traits were studied by Mendel in the pea plant during his experiment. That is, from 1856 to 1863, around 7 years, he studied about 7 characters and 14 traits in the pea plant or Pisum sativum. What are the characters chosen by Mendel? What are the characters he studied in the pea plant? We have to see here. It may be asked in one more question, or even in a NEET exam and CET exam, there can be some questions related to these characters. What are the 7 characters studied by Mendel? We have to see. The first character, let us consider. He studied about stem height of this plant. Height of this plant or stem length of this plant, we can say stem length. That means in that, he came across 2 varieties. Some plants were tall enough, that means, as I told you, around 2 feet like that, and others are dwarf. So tall and dwarf are 2 different traits present in the character called height, we can see. So in the height character, there are 2 traits, namely tall and dwarf. Second character that was chosen by Mendel for his experimental purpose is regarding the position of the flower. Flower position was also studied by the Mendel in the pea plant. Position of flower means some of the pea plants produced axial flower. The flowers produced in the axillary bud are called axial flower. You may be remembering in a plant there will be nodes and internodes. Here there is a petiole or pedicel or a peduncle may be there. And in this case, here if flower is produced, it is called axial flower. And some other Pisum sativum in the same garden, same species, they have produced terminal flower also. So some of the plants produced axial flower. Some of the Pisum sativum produced terminal flower. Terminal flowers are produced at the tip of the plant, we can say. So tip of this, that is called terminal flower or axial flower. That is the position of the flower. Third character studied by the Mendel is about color of the flower also. Color of the flower. There were 2 colors observed in the Pisum sativum in Mendel's garden. Some of them were violet in color, violet flower. Some of them were violet and some of them were white in color. So there are 2 traits, contrasting traits called violet and white with reference to color of the flower. In addition to that, Mendel has studied about the shape of the seed also. Shape of seed, that is also one more character taken by the Mendel. I told you already 7 characters were chosen by Mendel. With reference to shape of the seed, there were 2 contrasting traits in the shape. Some plants produced round seed, and some plants produced wrinkled seed. Wrinkled seed refers to shrunken seed. The seed with shrunken condition is called wrinkle, and a perfect round shaped seed were also there. That is called shape of the seed. Apart from this, there is a 5th character also studied by Mendel. Color of the seed also were taken into consideration. As far as color of the seed is concerned, the yellow color seeds were produced by some plant, some Pisum sativum, and some were able to produce green color also. Yellow and green are with reference to color of the seed. In addition to this, in addition to stem height, position of flower, color of the flower, shape of the seed, color of the seed, the 6th character studied by Mendel, we have to remember here is, in the 6th character known, he studied about pod nature also. Pod nature. Nature of pod became another character taken by or considered by Mendel here. What is meant by pod? Pod is nothing but a dry, dehiscent fruit. The fruit of the pea plant where the pea seeds will be located. So imagine this is the pod in which the pea seeds are located like this. This is called nature of the pod. In this nature of the pod, we can come across 2 varieties again. Again, here also two traits were used by they have been produced by Paisum sativa. In nature of pod, some of them were inflated pod and others were produced with shrunken pod, remember. So shrunken pod was there and inflated pod was there. Inflated pod means without any shrinking, it will be like this. They are produced in this way. Shrunken pod means it was something like a shrunken one in this manner. So nature of the pod. In addition to that, Mendel selected or studied about color of pod also. Color of pod. In the color of the pod, some of the pods were green in color, green colored pod, and others were yellow colored in nature also. So green and yellow colored pods were taken by the Mendel. Now remember, these are the 7 characters and 14 traits. I am telling you again why Paisum sativum is suitable for genetical experiment means for every character they had only 2 opposite traits. Like blood group, there are no 4 traits. In Paisum sativum, you have come across 7 characters means each one had only 2 opposite traits. So it is easy to perform a cross with reference to height only. It is easy to perform a cross with reference to position of flower only. If you cross an axial flower with a terminal flower, what will be the progeny you can study, and you can identify what are the methods of inheritance, what are the patterns followed by position of flower during inheritance. Similarly, when a violet flower is crossed with a white flower or vice versa, that becomes easy for hybridization experiment. So, it is when they exhibit only 2 contrasting characters, it is easy to study or it is easy to follow the principles of inheritance. Mendel succeeded in that work only, and in addition to that, he selected 14 traits and 7 characters for his work. For 7 years, Mendel worked in Paisum sativum. In 1868, he proposed his theories through a journal or through a paper called Experiments on Hybridization in Paisum sativum in the place called Brunn, but unfortunately till 1900 it was not recognized by the scientific world, and this is becoming the introduction about Mendel and the Paisum sativum plant. So dear students, in today's class, just let me recall, you can make note of some questions here. What is called inheritance? We have seen. Inheritance means the process of transmission of characters from the parents to the children is called inheritance. What is called variation? The degree of difference between parents and offspring is called variation. That degree of difference need not be present only between the parent and progeny. Even among the progenies of the same parent, we can come across variation. That is variation. Then I told you about Mendelian history also in this part. Even we have studied what is called what are the advantages of using Paisum sativum, and then what is emasculation, what is cross pollination, self pollination, hybridization, everything we have studied. Finally, remember, Mendel did his work in Paisum sativum, very important point. Then Mendel studied 7 characters with 14 traits in it. You must recall what is the difference between character and trait. Height is the character, whereas tall and dwarfness are the traits. Position of the flower is the character, whereas axial and terminal are the traits. Color of the flower is the character, whereas violet and white are the traits. So trait and character we have to remember. Based on this, we will continue in the next class about Mendelian experiment. what he did and what are the points, what are the laws of inheritance proposed by Mendel. We will discuss in the later classes. Thank you. Thank you.